Hey guys, James here at TCG University, coming back at you with another deck profile. Continuing the Yu Yu Hakusho fanboy decks I was doing. We're going to be doing Hiei today, or Hiei, however you want to pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce it. Let me know in the comments. I don't care. So we're going to do his foundations. We're playing for the Inhuman Speed. I think the good ability on this card is both cancel Vitality Gain and burn your opponent, and the E commit. This attack gets plus X speed. X equals your momentum, maximum of 3. I think giving even more speed is very good. For him, it's a spam with a 3 low block, so it covers some cool zones. 4 of his Jagan form, or Jagan form, however you pronounce that one. While this card's ready, you can look at your opponent's face-down foundations. Tam thinks that's nuts. I don't know. We'll see how that works. And then R once per turn, after your attack receives a speed bonus, it gets +1 damage, and your opponent reveals 1 random card in their hand. So that's very good. For protecting Yukina, I think this is his best foundation by far. It's a 2/4 with a 1 mid block. After you block with it, you can basically discard momentum and make sure the attack deals no damage. And then E destroy, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So this gets to start funneling into Hiei, which is what you want. We're playing the 3 eyes of Hiei, or Hiei. Man, I'm going to mess that up. I'm going to be mixing that up the entire game. Hiei and Hiei. We'll see how it goes. E commit. Your opponent reveals 1 random card in their hand. Look at the top card of both decks. Change the zone of this attack to any other zone. It's a nice 6 check. It has a 2 high block. It gets to change the zones of attacks. His 2 cool attacks, I believe, are mids. So, getting to change zones on those is very good. We're playing 2 Whirlite. It basically forces your opponent to play an ability or just pass, so you get to, kind of flash your attack to that instant. We're playing 4 Bug Zapper. Gives you +1 to your check for each of your momentum. The idea is to build momentum as fast as possible in this deck, and then this benefits off of it, as well as if you check an attack card, you can add this card to your momentum. This works really well because you can check an attack card off of any of your abilities, and then just cool stuff these in. Rapid strikes, get 3 more momentum, cool. Now I'll just build 2 of these back out. So you built 3 up, build 2 out, kind of evens itself out. Does cool things, stuff like that. You get to do some fun things with this. 4 Uniting the Cosmos, a 2/5 3 mid block. We're basically playing it for the first responsibility, which is R flip. After your opponent plays an ability that discards 1 or more of your momentum, you get to cancel it. The idea of Hiei is he messes around with momentum and uses cool things to play him from his momentum. He gets to use his momentum as a hand. I guess we haven't gone over here. We'll go after the foundations. But he gets to manipulate his momentum and use all the cards from there, so you get to do cool things with it. We're playing 3 Phase of Monster. It's a nice speed hate. A Deadlock is a discard. Desperation, we get to change zones. Just an overall real cool card. 3 Outworld Xeris. It's a 2/5, 2 low block that gets rid of prom cards. 2/1 with Nature. It's a 2/5, 3 low block that we can discard cards we don't need from our normal hand to give +2 to block modifiers, and once per turn give damage to something. Once per hand step, give damage to something. It's pretty nice. Then Hunt for Spires and Dragons. So it's 3/5 with the 3 low block that either we use on offense to flip something we don't like, or on offense to gain or burn our opponent. On to Hiei, since I didn't go over it. He's a 6/27 with Chaos, Fire, Void. We built our deck under Chaos. He has 1 long static that could be split into 2, but whatever. You may look at either player's momentum at any time. That is a solid period. You can look at either player's momentum at any time. And then while this character is ready, you may play cards from your momentum as though they were in your hand. You may not play cards from momentum that share a name with a card you have already played this turn. So the idea is you play a card from momentum, and if you have a copy of it in your hand, you play it afterwards. If you play a card, you won't be able to play from momentum. So you play from momentum, then 2 from your hand. Nice and simple. If you're trying to do cool turns, you kind of can manipulate that in certain ways. It's really cool. Then E, discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Your attack gets 2 speed. If it deals damage, your opponent reveals 1 random card in their hand. This gives you information on what's in their hand. This Jogging form gives you information what's in their face down in their staging area. And Hiei also lets you see what's in their momentum. So the only thing you don't know is their deck in general. But that's supposed to be the random stuff of the deck anyways. So on to actions. We're playing 1 Spell Circle. This is either a card that just as a void enhance, because we do have void, and outside of Flyer Gunner, everything's going to have void in our deck, is just a solid discard, make our opponent discard and have -1 hand size, or it's just a constant 1 momentum we get to use a lot, which is just very, very good. We're also playing 3 out of your leagues. This card's very good in your hand and in your momentum if you ever get it there. It's just a solid card that just says we get to, at any point, negate something on our opponent's turn. I'll play this for momentum to respond to your response. You didn't see it coming because they have X cards in hand. Maybe you saw it, but it was in the momentum, so you'll never get to touch that unless you're Hiei. But the mirror match is going to be a weird thing of, do you just want to play with your momentum face up? Or, like, it's just going to be a fun game. So on to the attacks. We're playing 4 16 instant slashes. It's a 5-3 with a 2 high block. 5 mid for 5. High AE. If you have exactly 16 cards in your discard pile, this is unblockable. I feel like this effect was just mainly a cool aesthetic, but it's still a really good ability altogether. Then he has 2 firsties. The first one being this attack gets +1/+1 for each of your momentum. The second one being your next check to play an attack gets +X. X equals your momentum. So either it's a card that lets you play another card, or it's a cool card that's just going to be beefy depending on how much momentum you have. 4 Dragon Binding. It's a 4/4 safe throw. E discard momentum. If this attack deals damage, add 1 card from your discard pile to your momentum. So you basically discard momentum. You don't need some random thing you got off protecting Yukina or whatever, and you just ditch that card to get a cool card with Dragon Binding. Or you have 2 of X card in your hand in your momentum, but you need this card because you don't have it and you don't have it in your hand. You ditch the extra one, get the new one, get to play this one. You get to do a bunch of cheeky things by manipulating what's in your momentum with Dragon Binding. Then E, if this attack is not blocked, your next attack gets +2 speed. So basically your next attack gets 4 speed with Hiei. Then 4 Rapid Speed Slash. It's a 4/3. 1 mid block, 4 low for 4. Breaker 1. EX3 weapon. E, draw 1 card or add the top card of your deck to your momentum. Only playable if you have at least 1 momentum, which is easy to get with Spell Circle and protecting Yukina. So you can play this on turn 1 after removing Spell Circle. I mean turn 2 if you check the Spell Circle. You can just discard a random card, put in your momentum, stuff like that, and easily get there, destroy Yukina. But you almost always with Hiei just add to your momentum because it's just easier than drawing a card. Because drawing a card means your opponent can mess with it a little easier. There's a lot of cards that discard or stop or get to do cool things with manipulating that, Boat Down in general. So if you just get rid of it, you just don't have to worry about it. So you just throw it in your momentum and use it for later. Then we have 4 of the Rapid Strikes. It's a 5/3, 2 mid block, 5 mid for 4 with Fury, multiple 3 and Punch. E, name a card type. Your opponent reveals 1 random card in their hand. If the revealed card matches the named card or no cards were revealed, you can change the zone of this attack to high or low, and then multiples of this attack also get multiple, and then period, and then continuing multiple copies of this attack also gain this ability. So you get to kind of manipulate where you're swinging attacks. Because of Hiei, you've seen their hand. You get to know where it is. You get to know what to change the zone to, stuff like that. And then the really, really good ability on this card, E, if you have at least 3 momentum, add the top 3 cards of your deck to your momentum. So you just build momentum as fast as you can with protecting Yukina, dealing damage, Spell Circle, stuff like that. And then just Rapid Strikes, get 3 extra 1 for free. We're also playing 4 Firefly Gunner. It's a 4/3, 4 high for 4 with a 2 high block. Stun 1 and ranged. R, after you fail a check, this enhanced step, this attack gets +2 damage. E, check a 7. Add 1 other card from your card pool to your momentum. Your opponent loses 1 vitality for each of your momentum. So this card's very good because you can start super stacking with Rapid Strikes, give 6, 9 momentum very easily, and then just rapid Firefly Gunner all the time. Just I'll get 3 more and burn you for 12, burn you for 10. Just keep doing that to the point where you just kind of burn your opponent to death. I think Firefly Gunner is going to be a very, very lethal card with Hiei in general. So yeah, guys, that was the Hiei deck. If you liked it, make sure to leave a comment, share it with your friends. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to check out more of our stuff. If you want to help us and support us, go to patreon.com/TCG University. And as always, Stay learnt.